What up? It's your girl Sharryse, and I have a superstar on Connect Like Minds right now. This rising star is killing the game. She is multi-talented, and she was discovered by Nick Cannon. That's no other than Natalie Nichole. What's up, Queen?
What up? How you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Man, I'm chilling. We working hard and making sure we get all these records out for all the Dub Nation.
Hey, I feel that. I feel that. So we're not even going to hold you much longer. Let's jump right into the interview. So we can start from the beginning. Tell everyone where you were born and raised.
Alrighty. Okay, so my name's Natalie Nichole. That's my first and middle name, and I was born in Lubbock, Texas, a really small town. Mm-hmm. And then I was raised in San Antonio, Texas, and that's where I, did most of my schooling and, started writing songs and performing and all that good stuff. So that's when the story began, I guess you could say. Yeah.
Now, being that you were raised in the great state of Texas, and you actually moved away from Texas for a little bit into California, you got to answer this question for me. Is everything bigger in Texas?
I believe so. If you go anywhere, you try to buy like a soda or anything, it's like a huge soda that doesn't even fit in your car compartment. You gotta hold it in your lap. Yeah, it's it's big here.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, I've learned that you started off in the industry at a young age by doing commercials, engaging in organizations such as Hype and dancing. Guess how old were you when you started doing those things?
Oh, goodness. So when I first moved to San Antonio, my first, official performance was actually at a splash town. It's kind of like a theme park. It was really popular in San Antonio at the time. I was about 4 years old. And, I sang with my sister, The Boy Is Mine by Brandy and Monica.
That's so cute.
It was. And originally, she was just going to sing it by herself. And she was like, come on, Natalie, come on, sing it with me. And I knew all the words at 4 years old. Aww. So went up there and sang it. And a swarm of people came to watch. And a whole bunch of people wanted to give me lessons and get me involved in stuff. And my mom was scared. She just moved to San Antonio. So she was like, I don't know. So, we waited a few more years, but I definitely was a part of talent shows and things like that, Dancing with the Divas. Goodness. I was on the third grade talent show. We danced to Crazy in Love by Beyonce.
Wow.
I was about 8 years
old. That's a
throwback. Yes. We choreographed it ourselves. That's on YouTube, actually. People can search that. Hopefully they don't, though. It's embarrassing. And and there were so many performances in between that were through school and stuff. But then I was in those organizations that stood against drug and alcohol abuse, and we gave back to the community. And I wrote the songs for that crew. And we performed all over Texas. I won the Difference Award in Hype Staccato, which was the one that stood against drug and alcohol abuse. We were on Ken 5 in San Antonio, and we did a lot with that group, and it was very fun. We got to choreograph and dance and motivate people to not do drugs and not bully people and whatnot.
Hey, that's good. That's a positive thing right there. Now, when you reached high school, you went to Rockstar Academy?
I did, yes.
Okay, and you were mentored by Michael Morales. Is that true?
Yes. Yes.
Now, how was your overall experience with that?
Oh man, it was cool because you got to meet somebody famous, and he had worked with Beyonce and all these different people, and I was like, wow, I get to experience a true alumni of the industry. And so, that experience, I got to perform with him. I played, the guitar, the electric guitar in one of his performances and one of his shows. And then I sang Lady Marmalade live on one of the showcases. And what was the other song? I can't remember the other song right now, but I also sang an Alicia Keys song as well. And everybody enjoyed it. It was a great experience because he was very hands-on and got to hold some Grammys that he won, and that was like motivation to keep on doing what I was doing already, writing songs and creating albums.
Okay. And speaking of creating music, did you learn how to play an instrument while you were attending there?
Yeah, he was actually helping me brush up on the guitar. I played it by ear beforehand, and I played the piano. I also played the flute when I was in 6th grade and the drums. So I was pretty good with instruments, but he helped, brush up that electric. Because I was in love with the electric guitar. It's my favorite instrument.
Okay. Now, you ended up releasing your first album called Different NC during the time that you were there as well. Did he assist you with your album?
Oh, no. It's actually called The Different.
Okay.
But I bracketed the NC because that's what I used to go by, NC. That was my name. My first and last name. Yeah. But no, he just happened to be around when I had just finished it, and I did that independently. I knew some people who had a studio. I wrote all the songs and produced the records, and I just went in, recorded it, and I released it on CD Baby at the time. Distributed it, to all platforms or whatever, and had a release. And he actually got a copy of it. He bought a copy of it, so that was cool. He supported the movement. Yeah, he supported it.
That's like awesome. How did you feel when he did that for you?
I was young, so I was just like, wow, I'm glad he, wanted a copy of my hard work. I raised money to fund it. I had odd little jobs. I was like 15, 16 years old, so I had weird jobs. I sold candy bars at school and whatnot to raise the money. I don't even know how I had the brain capacity to do half the stuff that I did. But, I mean, it worked out ultimately.
Yeah, I see. Like, now you're here and you're still killing the game, so.
Facts.
Now, fast forward past that phase, you decided to move to California. What was the deciding factor for you to, just pick up and be like, I got to go chase my dreams?
Well, a year, I believe, before I made the official decision, I had a random call my mother's phone, and it was an audition for Adrian Armonte. He was actually on Sweet Life of Zach and Cody. I don't know if anybody else knows that show, but it was on Disney Channel when I was growing up. And they asked me to audition in Austin. So me and my mother, we drove to Austin, and I auditioned. I ended up being the number one pick out of 250 people. And it was a closed audition, so they gave me a scholarship to take classes with Adrian Armonte and Mr. Mosby from the Sweet Life of Zach and Cody in LA. So I was like, yo, let's do it, man. So I went to the 2-week class thing because they paid for it or whatever, and that was an amazing experience. I got to learn a little bit more about acting, although I took theater and stuff like that in school. Then I was like, yo, I could come to LA and do my singing, my acting, my writing scripts, my songwriting. I could do it all in LA, Why not move? So a year, I raised my money like I had to do always. I got my job working at Party City and call centers and whatnot, and saved up my money. And my mother, she decided to come with me. So she sold everything we had. And we drove in 2 cars to LA, got an apartment in Burbank, and it was good the first 9 months. And then we had a job loss, and that's when the story takes a little turn. But we ended up losing one of the jobs, so we couldn't pay the rent. So me and my mother were like, yo, God told us that we were supposed to be here. We don't know what it is for exactly, but I'm supposed to be here. I was signed with my acting. I got signed by ESI Network. And I was going on auditions and doing extra work. I was Ubering and stuff. So I was like, man, what are we going to do? Me and my mom were like, let's live out of the car. So we, we got storage. We put all the belongings that we had in that apartment in the storage. I call it pimped out our ride. And we made my mother's car our bed. And we're 5'2", so we fit in the back seat. We were able to lay down with our feet in the trunk and our heads to the backs of the seat.
Oh my God.
We got some sponge crates and sleeping bags, and we slept in the car for 11 months. And we showered at the gym. And I was still working. I was writing songs for Disney stars like Coco Jones. I was writing for the TV show Empire. I was... wow. Goodness gracious. I was working with a lot of different people while I was homeless. So before that, yeah, right. And then randomly in one night at 1 a.m, Nick Cannon, he had an audition going on Me Too Incredible Challenge. And I was like, yo, this is for me. I know this is for me. I'm going to win. I just felt it in my gut. Like, I just knew. And so I woke up my mother at 1 a.m. She was sleeping right next to me. And I was like, we got to go to the gym. I got to take a shower. I got to do my hair and put my sweats on. So did that and I wrote a song to one of his beats because that was the stipulation. He had to write to one of his beats. And I wrote my piece and sang it in the back of my mom's car. And I couldn't edit it or anything because my computer literally exploded that same day. It just blew up. It was like,
oh my God.
Yeah. I was like, really? I wanted to look professional and it blew up. I can't even do it. So I couldn't even edit it. Everybody else's videos that submitted were professionally done. They recorded their songs in the studio and everything. And mine was a cappella. I sang it live. And I submitted it the next day. Nick retweeted it and he was like, yo, you're amazing. They asked for my number. They called me like a week later and was like, yeah, Nick really liked your song, your voice, and this and that. I'm like, wow. And I was in the top 4 for like 2 or 3 months. And,
wow, the anticipation of like just sitting there waiting.
Right. I'm like, bruh, can we like hurry this process along?
Right.
But I was homeless, like I was, in a car. So he ended up meeting me for the first time at his premiere in Hollywood. It was King of the Dance Hall, his movie. And that's when I first met him. And he was like, yeah, we got to link. We got to start working, this and that. And we did. A few months later, I met him again in person at the studio. And we figured out, am I going to live here or LA? Texas? Where am I going, And situated that, and I drove my mom back home to Texas, and we got to work.
Wow. So would you say that Nick Cannon signing you was a turnaround point out of your situation as far as being homeless?
As far as being homeless goes, yes, because he did help me and my mom get back to Texas. Yes, he definitely helped, fund getting back to Texas, which I drove. I drove from LA to Texas twice.
That is a crazy drive.
Yeah, I did it in 18 hours and one night when there was a super moon. It won't happen again until I'm 55 years old, that super moon, or 52. It was crazy. It was wild. Like, I can't even believe I did that. I was like 22 years old and like driving by myself across the country with bad license plates and no insurance and a car.
God was with you through that whole journey.
Yes, he was. 'Cause, I don't even know how I did it.
Wow. Well, look, I'm happy that things turned around.
Right. Same.
Now, I also read in your bio that you ended up connecting with some college kids who approached you about a documentary. Well, doing a documentary on you?
Yes.
All right. Well, let's talk about that. How did that happen?
Okay. So, this is okay. So I have to rewind a little bit. When I first moved to LA, I was doing those auditions and things like that. And sometimes you get these auditions for colleges who are students that make short films and things like that, right?
Right.
So I auditioned for one of theirs just to get my experience up, to make sure, I'm cool on a set and all that stuff, because they have all that at the college for the students. So I auditioned, and I met these two people who are now my best friends. Like, we're still buddies.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, Isaac and Mia. Shout out to my babies. Anyway, so I met them. I got the role, and they were like, "Yeah, you could be in this, film, whatever." Da da da. And I did it, and we just kept in contact. We became friends, and then, we weren't like so close to where they talked to me every day, but we were really cool. They were great people, amazing people, and they didn't realize that in between the time that we weren't talking, that I became homeless. So they had an end of the year project to do. And by that time I was homeless, and I was already auditioning for Nick. And they were like, "What? We were just going to write, we just wanted to do your story about you coming to LA and chasing your dreams and selling everything you had from Texas to come over here. Now you have this story where you're homeless too, and you're still doing it. It's even more inspirational."
Right.
I was like, "Yo, okay, great." So they were like, "Can we do that?" I said, "Yeah." I mean, I was already documenting my story because I wanted to let people know that no matter what you go through, you can persevere, and there's a purpose for whatever you're going through, and it just might be to get you to the other side sometimes, not even necessarily for you to learn something, because you might already be a good person, but sometimes, you do got to go through things to become better as well.
Right.
But with that said, they were like, "Yeah, we want to do the story." So they did it, and that's real footage of me when I was homeless in LA, and they got it on camera, and it premiered originally at the Writers Guild in Beverly Hills, and it won Best Directing, and it was nominated Best Documentary, and it aired on Mother's Day. And my mother, we got a standing ovation in the theater. Everybody was crying, and I was like, that's pretty amazing that it affected people that way. And we're re-premiering it on my Facebook page on the 30th, the 30th of October. So I'm really excited for more people to see that. Yeah.
Yes, we gotta get your story out there. Like, it's so inspirational. Like, I was sitting here reading it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, so many people would have given up or been like, "Man, I'm not doing this." Like, that could have been their breaking point. It could have been yours, but you kept going. So, man, that's awesome. Like, I'm so happy for everything that has come to you, because you truly deserve it.
Thank you. I feel like I can't even believe that it happened. Like, I don't know. God, in a way, I feel like God was testing my character, because I remember when I was younger, I had been through other things like molestation and racism and bullying and things like that too. But I knew, I told God one day, and maybe I asked for it, but I told him one day, I said, I believe that even if I went through something worse than the things that I've been through, that I would still be focused on my faith and the journey. And sure enough, when I was homeless, I probably was even more positive than ever. I just, I don't know how I channeled that energy, but I gotta say it was God, because I was posting for people every day on Instagram, just saying, "Look, guys, I'm homeless. Okay, I'm showering at the gym. There's no excuse for you not to chase your dreams. If you know God told you to do something, do it. It doesn't matter what it looks like, because in the end, it's going to look completely different than what you're feeling right now and what you're going through right now. It's going to be different. And it is now. So, like, I was posting positive messages throughout the whole time. And even my manager, my acting manager in LA, he was like, I don't know how you did that. You seem so normal and like happy. And I'm like, that's God, because I don't even know how, because it was scary. There was scary nights, and it was cold and hot, and couldn't find places to park, and you have to fill up your time. And it was me and my mother together, two ladies that are not from LA.
Right. That's a scary adventure by itself.
Right. So, it was God. It was God.
Yes, it sure was. Now, what single are you currently pushing right now?
Oh, man. We have, technically, we're pushing 2 at the same time. So,
all right, well, name the 2.
One is called Indecisive, and it actually came out on my birthday, 9/17, and it's doing some numbers. It already got to like 70 or 80,000 streams. So
awesome.
I was doing really good. And then we got this new single coming out on Halloween. It's called Imagine. And it's a beautiful record. It's basically just giving perspective of how I feel when guys try to act like they're the one for me, but I might be all the qualities you need, but you aren't necessarily everything that I need.
I feel that.
So it's basically just giving perspective into that. So it's called Imagine. That one comes out on Halloween.
Okay. Dope. Now, can we expect a mixtape or an album anytime soon?
Oh, definitely. All these records are leading up to my EP that comes out in March 2020. The rest of this year, we also have another record called Elephant that comes out in December. And then we have another one on new... I'm sorry?
I said I like the title.
Thank you. It's the phrase elephant in the room. Let's talk about the elephant in the room.
Yes.
That's what it's kind of referencing to. So we have that one coming out in December, and then we have Tell Him coming out on New Year's Day. So all of this is leading up to the EP, March 2020. We're making sure we're, promoting it and getting the videos out for everybody to see. And I'm super excited about that. After 2020, the EP, then we'll have a mixtape that I'm excited about too.
Okay. Like you said, you've been working hard. That's a lot.
Yes. It's wild.
Okay. Now, are you working on anything outside of music, like any more acting gigs? Are you writing for Empire or any other TV shows?
Right. So, there's a acting role that's pending right now. I don't even know if I'm allowed to say the name, but it's supposed to be picked up by a network soon. I don't want to say the name, but there is one TV show that I'm supposed to, be on and sing like the theme song or something like that. And then I write my own scripts as well, because I've just been through enough to, I guess, have an imagination. So I write my own scripts that I want to bring to life as well. And even in my music videos, I make them like mini movies. The ones that are coming out in the upcoming months, those are more diving into like, a movie-esque music video, to where you're getting a whole story plot, because my songs are stories, they're true stories, they're what I've gone through. So yes, acting is definitely on the agenda, and more script writing for me as well.
Okay, busy lady. Now, before you go, can you share your social media with our listeners and tell them where they can find all your music?
Yes, most definitely. Hey, everybody, what it do? It's your girl, Natalie Nichole, and you can follow me on Instagram at Natalie_moment. That's like the best place to reach me. Usually in my story, you can find all of my music, because I always repost it every single day so people can have easy access. But if you can't find that, which that's the easy way, you can Google me as well. Natalie Nichole, NATALIE NICHOLE. Or go to natalienichole.com. You know, there's plenty of outlets, but I feel like the best way to get to me is at Natalie_moments on IG. Then you can find everything.
Okay. All right. Well, it was a pleasure having you on my show.
Thank you. I appreciate you having me.
Oh, it was an honor. It's your girl, Sharryse, and I'm out.